Hey there, fellow curious minds. Are you ready to dive into a real-life mystery that'll keep you on the edge of your seat? We've got an out-of-this-world tale that's stranger than fiction. Buckle up as we explore the incredible Las Vegas UFO encounter in the shadow of Area 51 that has everyone talking. Introduction. In the late hours of a tranquil April night in Las Vegas, an extraordinary event unfolded, sending shockwaves not only through the city but also across several western states, particularly in the vicinity of the enigmatic Area 51. This remarkable occurrence, captured by a police officer's body camera, transformed the dark desert sky into a surreal canvas of fiery brilliance, leaving those who witnessed it both captivated and bewildered. Simultaneously, a doorbell camera recorded an eerie noise followed by a distant crash, setting the stage for an inexplicable tale that would challenge even the most skeptical minds. The Close Encounter. Our story commences with an ordinary family residing in a ranch-style home on the outskirts of Las Vegas, mere moments away from the secretive confines of Area 51. Two brothers and their father were engrossed in repairing a vehicle in their yard when they unwittingly became witnesses to a phenomenon that defied rational explanation. A dazzling object streaked across the night sky, hurtling directly towards them. Upon crashing to the ground with a deafening boom, they experienced an overwhelming shockwave rippling through the air. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, later shared a strange twist to this already perplexing encounter. As he summoned the courage to approach the spot where the mysterious object had come to rest, he was confronted with a disconcerting sight. The area seemed to be concealed by an inexplicable form of camouflage, reminiscent of the covert technology associated with the enigmatic world of Area 51. Puzzled and alarmed, they hastily dialed the local police dispatch, setting into motion a series of events that would raise more questions than answers. The mysterious intruders. The 911 dispatcher, initially skeptical of the family's account, inquired about the situation. What followed sent chills down the dispatcher's spine. The caller, their voice trembling with fear and disbelief, claimed to have witnessed two unusually tall figures in their backyard. According to the family, these figures stood at imposing heights, ranging from 8 to 10 feet. The unsettling detail that these beings bore an uncanny resemblance to the archetypal image of extraterrestrial aliens added an eerie layer to an already bewildering narrative, raising suspicions about a potential connection to the rumored extraterrestrial activities near Area 51. Publicly, Angel would later reveal that not only had the family seen these enigmatic figures, but they had also heard the sound of multiple footsteps in their yard and even on their roof. Perhaps the most astonishing detail was the sight of one of these 8-foot-tall creatures attempting to operate a large front loader stored in their yard, as if deciphering its purpose. This echoed the clandestine experimentation often rumored to occur in the vicinity of Area 51. Angel provided a vivid description of one of these creatures, a greenish-grayish being with massive hypnotic eyes and impossibly long legs. He recounted how the creature's deep, audible breaths had left him paralyzed, unable to move or react. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed and then mysteriously vanished, a circular impression remained imprinted in the soil, bearing witness to the bizarre events that had unfolded. Police response and unexplained mystery. Remarkably, sources within the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department admitted that the initial reaction of the police dispatcher was one of skepticism, even considering the dispatch of a crisis intervention team suspecting a potentially distressed witness. However, something about the urgency and conviction in the caller's voice compelled them to take the incident seriously. 2 officers were dispatched to the scene, arriving approximately 38 minutes after the initial distress call. Several days later, 2 LVMPD sergeants returned to the scene for follow-up questions. They encountered a family still visibly shaken by the inexplicable events they had witnessed. What deepened the mystery were the family's accounts of mysterious men in suits and sunglasses, traveling in a car bearing government license plates passing by their house in subsequent days. Were these shadowy figures somehow connected to the enigmatic events that had unfolded in the family's yard or part of the covert activities often associated with Area 51? While both Nellis and Creech Air Force Base officials vehemently denied any involvement or interest in the incident, LVMPD sources suggested that they believed the family's claim that something had indeed crashed in their yard. Yet the nature of this mysterious crash remained an enigma, shrouded in unanswered questions. The mysterious lights. The events of that fateful April night in Las Vegas began with a spectacle that defied explanation. It was the kind of sight that you might expect to see in a science fiction movie, but for the witnesses, it was all too real. The camouflage mystery. What they encountered at the crash site left them dumbfounded. The object, whatever it was, had embedded itself into the desert floor. It was as if the ground had swallowed it whole, leaving only a gaping hole in the Earth's surface. But it wasn't just the object itself that left them bewildered. It was the bizarre camouflage-like effect that seemed to shroud the crash site. The desert sand around the impact zone appeared to shimmer and shift, as if an invisible force was at work. Angel later described it as like something out of a sci-fi movie. The air around the crash site seemed to ripple, creating a surreal distortion of the landscape. It was as if they were looking at a mirage that had somehow materialized into reality. Puzzled and alarmed, the Rodriguez family knew that they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. It was a scene that defied all logical explanation and seemed to challenge the boundaries of their understanding of the world. The distress call. Realizing that they were in the midst of a potentially dangerous and otherworldly event, the Rodriguez family hurriedly retreated from the crash site. They made their way back to their house, their minds racing with questions and fear coursing through their veins. It was Angel who made the decision to call for help. He picked up the phone and dialed 911, his voice trembling with a mixture of awe and terror. The 911 dispatcher on the other end of the line, accustomed to handling emergencies of a more conventional nature, initially found it difficult to comprehend the nature of the call. But as Angel frantically tried to convey the surreal events unfolding in their backyard, the dispatcher's skepticism gave way to a growing sense of unease. The family's description of the object streaking across the sky and crashing to the ground, coupled with the inexplicable camouflage effect, was like nothing the dispatcher had ever heard. It was as if they were describing an encounter with the unknown, a phenomenon that defied the laws of physics and reason. Despite the dispatcher's growing sense of unease, the protocol dictated that the police respond to any distress call. 2 officers were dispatched to the scene, their skepticism tempered by the urgency in Angel's voice. The arrival of law enforcement. Approximately 38 minutes after the initial distress call, 2 Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officers arrived at the Rodriguez residence. They stepped out of their patrol car and were immediately struck by the eerie atmosphere that hung over the desert night. The Rodriguez family, visibly shaken and still struggling to comprehend what they had witnessed, led the officers to the crash site. As they approached the area, the officers, too, noticed the strange distortion of the landscape, the shimmering effect that defied explanation. It was clear to them that something extraordinary had occurred. The officers radioed their dispatch, requesting backup and additional resources to secure the area. This was no ordinary call, and they needed experts to make sense of the inexplicable. The intriguing connection to Area 51. As the family shared their account with investigators, one question loomed large. Could these beings be connected to the enigmatic secrets of Area 51? The proximity of the Rodriguez residence to this infamous and highly classified military facility raised unsettling possibilities. For decades, Area 51 had been the subject of intense speculation and conspiracy theories. It was rumored to be the site of secretive government experiments, advanced aircraft testing, and, of course, extraterrestrial encounters. The very mention of Area 51 conjured images of shadowy government agents, classified technologies, and the tantalizing possibility of contact with beings from beyond our world. The family's description of the beings they had encountered bore a striking resemblance to the stereotypical depiction of aliens in popular culture. Could it be that these beings were connected to the classified activities that had long been whispered about in the vicinity of Area 51? Were they, in fact, extraterrestrial visitors? The strange behavior of the figures. Perhaps the most astonishing detail in the family's account was the behavior of these tall, enigmatic figures. According to Angel's recollection, one of the 8-foot-tall beings had approached a large front loader that was stored in their yard. What transpired next was baffling. The figure, with its elongated limbs and unsettling eyes, appeared to study the front loader intently. It reached out with its long fingers, as if trying to decipher the purpose of the machinery. It was as if his very will to move or react had been sapped away by the hypnotic cadence of those breaths. The denials from Air Force bases. Intriguingly, both Nellis Air Force Base and Creech Air Force Base, both located in the vicinity of Las Vegas, vehemently denied any involvement or interest in the incident. This denial from the military added yet another layer of complexity to the mystery. Nellis Air Force Base, in particular, had long been associated with top-secret military experiments and advanced aircraft testing. Its proximity to Area 51 had fueled speculation that it played a role in classified projects and extraterrestrial encounters, but the official stance of the Air Force bases was clear. They had no connection to the events that had transpired at the Rodriguez residence. This left investigators and the public grappling with a perplexing question. If not the military, then who or what was responsible for the extraordinary events that had unfolded that night? Unraveling the enigma. As we delve deeper into the quest for the truth behind this extraordinary event, the shadow of Area 51 looms large over the investigation. The proximity of the Rodriguez residence to this infamous and highly classified military facility raises unsettling possibilities. Was the object that streaked across the sky truly a UFO, leaving an indelible mark on the witnesses? Did extraterrestrial beings, as described by the family, descend upon their yard in the dead of night, possibly in connection to the enigmatic secrets of Area 51? What explains the camouflage-like effect that seemed to shroud the crash site, reminiscent of the mysterious experiments often whispered about in the vicinity of Area 51? And, perhaps most tantalizing of all, who were the enigmatic men in suits and sunglasses, and what was their vested interest in the perplexing events that unfolded, especially in the shadow of Area 51? Join us on this mesmerizing odyssey as we strive to unravel the enigma that has enthralled the world, all while considering the enigmatic backdrop of Area 51. The next chapter of this extraordinary tale awaits, and you won't want to miss a single moment of it. Remember to subscribe and activate the notification bell, for the truth is out there, and we are resolute in our determination to unearth it, even if it leads us deep into the shadowy realm of Area 51.